Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. It's the Take 5 art for December 2018, and this month we are featuring Brie's prompts. Now Brie is documented journey over on Instagram and YouTube, and if you guys follow Brie, you will know that these prompts are so Brie and so her style, and I actually really enjoyed making this layout and kind of channeling a little bit of Brie. So the 5 prompts this month are botanical, so that means to use flowers or leaves or anything plants really, because that's what botanical is. Number 2, watercolor. Number 3, the color green. Number 4, some kind of text. And number 5, ballpoint pen. I've got the prompts here on the top corner just for you to remember as I'm working on this layout. So the hero of my layout this month is going to be this really versatile stamp set by Kaisercraft called Open Road. This was released in December of 2017, and because it's an Australian theme, I find myself going back to use it over and over again. So I thought that I would challenge myself to use every single item on this stamp set to create a layout for this month's Take 5 Art Challenge. Now, if you don't know what the Take 5 Art Challenge is, it is 12 ladies who are on YouTube and Instagram and Facebook, so all the social media. We get together every month. One of us chooses 5 prompts and we all make some art with those prompts. I am going to leave all the links to all 12 of these amazing ladies down below. A huge welcome to a new addition to our team, Shanice Windsor. Shanice is the Sleepless Planner over on Instagram, and she's also on YouTube. I'm going to leave her details down below. Go ahead and check her out. She's super talented, and we're definitely happy to have you on board, girl. All right, so on to the layout. I'm starting by stamping this eucalyptus leaf stamp. I'm using VersaFine sepia ink, and I'm just creating a border along the top there. What I also did was I stamped the leaves on top of copier paper, fussy cut them out, and I'm using that copier paper to mask some of the leaves to make it look like some leaves are behind others and that some are in front of others, to make it more kind of 3D and more realistic. I'm just pulling out this Proteus stamp because I want to put it on the corner there, but what I also want to do is I want to put some of these gum nuts around it, and I'm going to end up popping that Proteus up on 3D foam tape so that it looks like there's gum nuts underneath it and that it's a rich arrangement in that left hand side corner. I'm also reaching for some 190 GSM paper. I'm re-stamping this eucalyptus on that, and I'm going to use them as 3D elements on top of the foliage at the top of the layout. You also saw me stamping out the Proteus, which is going to be the 3D feature in the left-hand corner. I've got some gum nut. I've got some eucalyptus leaves here on the side, and I'm just having them there as inspiration because eucalyptus leaves, and actually leaves in general, they don't all look the same. They are lighter and darker in areas. They have red and they have brown and they have yellow in them. So I really just have them there for inspiration. So I'm hoping that that stamping of the eucalyptus leaves fulfills my botanical prompt number 1. Here I am pulling out my Sakura Koi watercolors. This is fulfilling my prompt number 2, and I am adding a combination, and I'm adding yellow as the base for most of my leaves here, but what I'm also going to do is I'm going to start adding the green in some areas. I've got a couple of greens there that I'm going to be using, and hopefully that fulfills the green prompt this month. Adding in some yellow oxides now to show the flowering gum nuts. And then to the gum nuts themselves, I'm adding a little bit of gray. I'm repeating that same color scheme to the gum nuts that are flowering in the bottom left-hand corner. So here we go. I'm pulling out a few of my greens and I am adding them just there on my glass mat. And I'm going to go ahead now and color in those eucalyptus leaves with different shades of green so I can fussy cut them out and add them as 3D elements to my layout. I'm reaching for my cool graphite dye ink pad and I'm just stamping that Proteus right there on the corner because that's going to give me a guide to where I want to place it. I'm now going to start layering pinks and reds and greens and yellows, and I'm just going to build up my Proteus flower. So after that's been fussy cut, I'm ready to add that Proteus to the corner. I'm just adding some 3D foam tape and taking off that backing and then just propping it up there in the corner, and it's perfect. It's exactly how I imagined. Now I'm going to do the same thing with these eucalyptus leaves, and you can see here how the leaves that I fussy cut are just a little bit different than the original ones that I added, that I stamped and colored on the art layout. So it's just nice to have that variety. Now I did decide before adding them on that I do need to add a little bit of a background. So I'm coming back in with a really light shade of blue, and I am going to add a blue sky. And watching myself do this in editing, I'm so frustrated that I use the smallest brush ever. I should be using a large flat brush to do this. So that background is done. It's really light, but it's a nice color. I'm reaching for my ballpoint pen now, and what I want to do is I want to write my sentiment. So I'm adding a few lines with a pencil, just because I didn't want my sentiment to be wonky, and I decided to go for this quote by Albert Einstein, and it says, "Look deep into nature and you will understand everything better." I would not have used this ballpoint pen to add my sentiment if it was not a prompt requirement. I would have probably stamped it, but like I said earlier, I am happy for the challenge, and actually it didn't look so bad in the end, even though I was stressing as I was doing this, and I kept thinking that it wasn't good enough, and you know, all those horrible things you say to yourself. I did try to vary the fonts that I added, and yeah, it's fine. I'm really happy with it. It's fine. I am now going to go ahead now and add 3D foam tape to the back of these eucalyptus leaves, and I'm going to place them at the top there, one on the right hand side page and two on the left. I decided that there wasn't enough color coming all the way down and around the sentiment, so I went ahead and put some more blue sky around the sentiment and on the left hand side. I also decided to add some eucalyptus leaves to the bottom of the Proteus in that arrangement, and I love how that turned out. So my layout is complete, but I needed to do one more thing, and that is to just add a little bit of brown watercolor splatter. I don't know what it is. I think it just completes the look and it makes it look not so perfect and more realistic. And I don't know why it just looks so much better. The clean, crisp look is not enough for me anymore, and I feel like just adding that little bit of splatter really took the layout to the next level. So that is my layout for the Take 5 art for December 2018. Go ahead and check out what the other girls are doing with these prompts this month, and I will see you next month for next month's prompts for 2019. Have a great day, everybody, and I'll see you in my next video.